Dad leaned close to Mom during the ceremony, thinking I couldn't hear. Finally done wasting my money on this failure. The whole row of them laughed, low, cruel chuckles they thought were hidden under the applause. My fists curled around the program. I didn't move. I didn't even flinch. I just waited. Then the dean stepped up to the microphone. "Valedictorian," he announced, "and recipient of a full-ride scholarship to Harvard Medical School." The laughter died mid-breath. Their faces drained pale, like ghosts who had just been told they were already dead. And I smiled. I used to think betrayal came with knives and blood, but it doesn't. It comes in sighs at the dinner table, in looks exchanged over your head, in jokes that cut deeper than any blade. Growing up, I thought my father's silence meant strength, that his rare words of praise were precious. I built my self-worth on crumbs. My mother wasn't cruel, she was worse. She was a mirror of him, laughing when he laughed, dismissing when he dismissed. I worked. God, I worked. While they sneered, I studied. While they called me waste of space, I memorized anatomy charts under the blanket with a flashlight. When they locked my report cards in a drawer, claiming no one needed to see those useless numbers, I made copies for myself and hid them inside textbooks. I thought if I just proved myself, they'd love me. But love was never the prize. Control was. The shift began senior year of high school. My father joked in front of relatives, "She'll probably end up bagging groceries if she doesn't quit first." The room laughed. I smiled. But in that moment, something in me calcified. I didn't cry. I didn't defend myself. I started listening, watching, recording. They thought I was invisible. That was their mistake. The first move was silence. I stopped bringing home achievements. I let them believe their script, that I was average, struggling, unremarkable. Meanwhile, I climbed. I shadowed surgeons. I published research. I applied for scholarships under guidance counselors' names instead of theirs. They thought I was drowning. I was building a submarine. The second move was precision. Every insult they muttered, every time they withheld money for books I didn't deserve, every cruel smirk, I cataloged it, like evidence in a case file. The third move was patience. Revenge is worthless if rushed. Graduation day was the stage I'd been constructing for years. They came dressed in smug smiles, ready to perform their version of parenthood. Dad had his camera. Mom had her handkerchief. My siblings smirked, whispering about how I'd barely scraped by. I let them. I sat through their mockery, their false concern, their staged claps. And then the dean said my name. The applause rose, cameras flashed. "Valedictorian and recipient of a full-ride Harvard Medical School scholarship." The auditorium gasped. My professors stood. Strangers cheered. But all I heard was silence. My family's silence. The kind that follows a gunshot. I turned my head, just enough to catch their expressions. White, stiff, shattered. Dad's jaw slack. Mom's hands trembling. My siblings staring as if I'd ripped the floor out beneath them. The speech I delivered wasn't for the audience. It was for them. I spoke about failure, about how it isn't defined by others' voices, but by surrender, about how resilience is born from doubt, sharpened by cruelty, and crowned only when you stop asking for permission to rise. My eyes found theirs while I said it, each word a scalpel, each pause a cut. I didn't need to name them. Everyone who mattered understood. After the ceremony, they tried to recover. "Why didn't you tell us?" Mom whispered, her voice trembling with forced warmth. "Would you have listened?" I asked. Calm. Deadly calm. Dad opened his mouth, but no words came. I shook the dean's hand, posed for photos with professors, and let strangers congratulate me. My family lingered at the edge, irrelevant, watching the child they had dismissed turn into someone untouchable. The best revenge isn't loud. It isn't a scream or a slap. It's a mirror, a perfect reflection of their failure, not mine. I gave them nothing that day. No forgiveness, no acknowledgement, just absence. When I walked off that stage, I left them exactly where they'd kept me all my life, behind. Now, when people ask about my parents, I tell the truth. They funded my determination, not with money, with doubt. I don't thank them, I don't visit, I don't return their calls. They'll live the rest of their lives haunted by one moment, the instant they realized the failure they mocked had outgrown them, outshone them, and would never again need them. That was my revenge. Not rage, not violence, just silence. And silence, I've learned, is louder than anything they've ever said.